you so much for joining me for this session of yoga. Hopefully you're taking care of yourself, you're staying safe and healthy, and you have all the things you've gathered, all the things you need in order to help support you in a yoga practice, a yoga mat, or at least as much room. You definitely don't want to be up against a wall or a heavy piece of furniture. You want to have to be able to spread out. I've also got blankets to help support. I've got blocks in order to help support. I've got something to drink. And this session, I think, will be pretty low key, pretty relaxed, pretty gentle, pretty easy. I don't even know if we'll get up off the floor. So we'll see what happens. And if you want to start out laying down, of course, always your prerogative. But to start, we're going to come to our breath. Practice setting aside all that's going on in the world, all that's going on in your life, as much as you can, setting it aside, leaving it outside of the practice. Taking as much time as you need to just settle in on your breath. You don't have to really do anything with the breath other than just be aware of it coming in and out of your body. And that breath is that inhale and that exhale. That is the rhythm of the universe, so stay connected to that. As you settle into your body, to help you stay anchored in yourself and the present moment, right here, right now. When you're ready, that breath is going to start to fill up the lower third of your lungs, then the middle third, then the upper third, and then release fully upper, middle, lower. If you're laying down, it's really easy to have, one hand on your navel, one hand on your heart. I mean, even if you're seated, you can still do that in order to feel that lower third fill up, and then the upper third, and then release upper, middle, lower. And your movement might be pretty subtle. You don't need to exaggerate it. You're setting aside the judge, the jury, and you are cultivating the benevolent witness. You're just becoming aware of your breath and your body. Using this time to practice being aware. That's what you're doing. Become obsessed with that. Become obsessed with feeling the part of your body that is touching the floor. Feel it touching the floor. And then also feel your body, your whole body at the same time. Experiment with becoming aware of different parts of your body, like just your right shoulder, your left nostril, your right littlest toe, your left elbow. You can do that, taking time to move your awareness from each of the areas in your body that you direct it to. Use that as a way to stay anchored in the present moment, in your body. You taking care of yourself, you doing what's best for you as always. That's always the right way. Taking care of yourself, you're doing what's best for you. That's always the right choice. Honor where your body's at, what it needs. Learn to, if you aren't already, be friends with your body. And if you already are friends, then reinforce that friendship. No matter how you started, just take a few deep breaths, filling up your whole body on the inhale and releasing fully on the exhale. Stay in that awareness of how your body feels, how the part of your body that is touching the floor feels, how your whole body from that place touching the floor is lifting no matter what position you're in. And then make your way down to your back. And if you like cushion, don't be afraid to leave a blanket down. So make sure you have, I'm just going to grab up just a sip of drink. Make sure you have room to reach a little bit beyond your mat just to get some good stretch here. We're going to start with feet on the floor, knees bent, windshield wiper back and forth. Try to spread your whole trunk, your whole torso out. Pay attention to the parts that are touching the floor. Keep those glutes, buns heavy so they're pulled down to the floor. And you are just moving those legs as much or as little as feels good, as fast or as slow as feels good. And of course, if it would feel best to you to pick up and rock and circle, you can do that. So after a few breaths, warming up, you're going to find yourself back with yourself just in that neutral position, letting your legs extend down your mat, letting your arms come out in that T position. Just to start with, keep your chin tucked so your neck is nice and long, and just breathe full and deep. And so you're in charge of your legs, right? So you're in charge of how it feels to you in order to do this next move. So we're going to bend the right knee and bring it, the foot to the floor, and then pull that right arm and bring it over to the left. And so then that right knee is going to come down. So you're just being careful. Here you can bend that bottom knee and you can have both knees bent. And then you're going to drag that right hand down that left arm and then open up. And then once again, pull over and then drag. So just start to get this nice stretch with the upper body. Your knees are coming wherever feel good in order to support you. Pull that right side over and then drag. Inhale and exhale. And then once again, pull that right hand on top of that left hand and take that upper leg, and you can just kind of kick it back and then kick it forward. And so start with it kicked back with that right arm, and then if only if this feels good, you're going to open up and you're going to kick. Inhaling and exhaling. This is a gentle stretch. Don't strain yourself. Try to find that anchoring in of your body. Inhale and exhale, pressing. So when you press back, you get that nice stretch down your hip flexor. So my right arm, my right leg are moving. My left arm, my left leg are anchored here in this stretch. If you're the opposite way, it's okay, right? You only have two sides. We're going to do both sides. After your next one, you're going to bring yourself back into that neutral position. So however that feels to you, back in that neutral position, doing whatever feels good as far as a reset. I can feel that, how my body got that nice stretch, and then it goes back into the place it was before, and then it just feels better. I hope that you can feel that too. All right, same thing, other side. Hopefully you can see it. I'm not going to change where my head's going to go. I'm just going to do the other side, and so we'll see how it goes. So bending that left knee. You're of course doing whatever leg. I kind of jiggle onto that right hip, and then I pull that left arm, and then I drag it across. I come back on my back, and then I pull and drag, and you're doing whatever feels good with your knees. If this hurts your knees in any way, modify so it doesn't hurt. Opening up that side, that left side now, pull it across. And then if it would feel good to you, you can start to do the leg kick. So you've got that left arm out, you kick that left leg forward, you pull that left arm over, you kick that left leg back, the whole time keeping your trunk, your torso engaged, using those right and those left sides in order to help stabilize you, and then you move with protection and support. Inhaling and exhaling, couple more. Opening and closing, going as fast or as slow as feels good to you. Inhale and exhale, and then after a couple more, you're going to be done. You're going to come back onto your back and find that movement that feels good, that rock, that circle, that windshield wiper, whatever, a combination, maybe happy baby, where you reach for those feet. So and you're still trying to lengthen that lower back into the mat, those glutes into the mat. Inhaling and exhaling, staying with your breath right here, right now. And then you can let that movement go. Let yourself get super long, so you're lengthening those legs and then reaching those arms, and find that length and pull those shoulders down out of your ears, so you're engaging that shoulder girdle. That might bring your arms a little bit wider apart. Just don't hurt your elbows or your wrists or your fingers. Press through those heels, and then pull those toes and the tops of those knees to the sky, and you are breathing full and deep. Your biceps are hopefully right by your ears. You've got your chin tucked. Inhaling and exhaling. Hopefully you're starting to feel a little taxed in your shoulder girdle. That's what I'm trying to get. And then you're going to relax. You're going to bring those arms back down to your sides. You're going to bend those knees and you're going to come to rest. And I'm going to on one side. So I am going to roll over to my left side. So my right uh, leg and hip are up towards the sky. I've got my right arm, or my left arm on the floor, and this is where I like to get a little blankie because I like to be comfortable as much as I can. So don't be afraid to put a towel or a blanket so you are comfortable. And yes, you can prop up on your elbow, but that is a little bit more taxing because you also have to be lifting your torso, which I want you to be lifting your torso here too, but it's not as taxing because you're down on the floor. So that back leg, that lower leg can be bent, and then that top leg, it's not like heavy to the floor. I want you to be able to lift it, pressing through that heel. And you're going to lower and lift. It's not a big lower and lift unless you want to make it a big lower and lift. So take your time. Maybe it starts out a little less and then you add a little bit more. Keep pressing through that heel. Use that right arm to help support, staying on those hips stacked on top of each other. Inhaling and exhaling. All right, you're going to pause. This is one of my favorite moves. If you want to pull that bottom leg so it's lengthened out, you're going to bend the knee, pull that leg up, or that foot up that leg, and then kick that leg, and then pull down. Use that hand on the floor. So once again, pull up that leg and then kick. I can hear my cat crying. Hopefully she's probably getting sick. All right, then pull that leg up. This is a Pilates move. It is so good for you. It is moving that whole hip and socket joint a couple more times. And then you're going to pause with that leg and you're going to lift up. You're going to bend and you're going to do it the opposite. Oh, yeah. Inhale and exhale. You should feel this in this hip flexor and this glute. And then you're going to pause. Come onto your back. Once again, resetting, inhaling and exhaling. Take your time doing whatever feels good. Happy baby, windshield wiper, rock, hug, circle. Notice how your trunk feels, especially that lower trunk. Inhaling and exhaling. Then it's time to do the other side. So I'm going to turn around. You can potentially just roll over. So you want the other hip to be up towards the sky. Remember, you can have that cushion for your head if that would feel good. You're finding that place of support. Remember that bottom leg can be bent in order to help support. Pressing through that heel. Finding that lightness in that leg as you lower and lift. I've got my kneecap pulled up into my thigh. I'm using that left arm. I'm not putting any hardly weight on it though, but it is helping to support me. Oh, she's really crying out there. I think she's gonna get sick. Oh. Inhale and exhale. Oh, are you okay, baby? Stay with your breath. Oh my God. And then let yourself reset. Let that leg underneath come out. And then this is where you are going to bend and then kick. Pull up. I can hear her. She's vomiting. So that'll be fun to pick up when I'm done here. Breathing. Inhale and exhale. Hopefully it's not on the carpet. Stay with your breath. And then the next time it's down, you're going to pause and you are going to go the opposite way. Is this the opposite way? I can't remember. You're doing both ways. It can be kind of hard. But it's so good for those hip joints. All right, come back onto your back. Find yourself resetting however feels good to you with the windshield wiper, the rock, the circle, the happy baby. Inhaling and exhaling. Stay with your breath. And then this next thing, your legs are going to be bent with the feet on the floor, feet about hip distance apart, and then have your arms down at your side. The shoulders are activated. Try to really feel your whole torso on the floor, like all the way down to that last rib. Keep those chins tucked so you've got a nice solid base, and then keeping those shoulders active, lift them up. So your arms might be a little bit further apart than you are used to, and it might feel kind of weird, but that's okay. Just don't hurt your joints. Inhaling and exhaling. So your back is spread as wide as you can, and you're really trying to find that that fullness of your back. So everything is really active as you're reaching those arms up above your head. Inhaling and exhaling. And then take so your shoulder blades are down, they're pressing on the floor. Now round and reach, and then bring down. And you can let it gently like kind of plop, and then round and plop, round and plop. And as you're getting a little massage on that upper back, I'm not hurting anything, you're not hurting anything when you do this. It's a gentle plop so that it's like everything stays engaged. You lift off the floor and then plop back down. Couple more times. And then you can let that movement go. You can let your arms be down by your sides, on your body. You can do whatever feels good as far as rocking, circling, breathing full and deep, navel, ribs, chest. Exhale fully, chest, ribs, navel. Notice how you feel. Stay with your breath. And then bring yourself over onto the stomach. Take your time, however you need to get there. You might want to bring a blanket down. Sometimes that helps, especially when we're going to come up on our elbows. And if you find that your elbows are a little sensitive, it feels good to have the blanket down. So you've extended those legs to start with. You can even make a little pillow for your head and bend those knees and do a little windshield wiper here, inhaling and exhaling, staying with your breath. I want you to keep your head down. I have my head lifted so you can don't lose my words. Breathing full and deep. Navel, ribs, chest. Exhaling fully, chest, ribs, navel. And so you're doing all that same stuff that I always talk about as far as engaging the lower girdle and then the upper girdle. Excuse me. You're going to pull yourself up into that Sphinx position. So yeah, if you want to have cushion underneath your elbows, do that. Let those legs be active and extend them back down the mat, and make sure that you feel the top of the feet, the top of the knees on the mat. You want to keep that or that lower body really, really heavy. And then pull yourself, have this be active so that lower body is heavy from the navel, dimples down. It is like in cement, and then you are trying to pull yourself out of that cement, pulling those elbows back and then reaching that upper body a little bit. And then this is where you decide, yeah, it's going to feel good to me. It's not going to hurt to lift up into a fuller cobra. And if it does hurt after you get up here, just come back down to your elbows if that's the case. And then you can always walk those hands back to come into a fuller back bend. You're breathing full and deep. If you are lifted up, you're going to bring yourself back down to the elbows, and then from the elbows, everyone splays their elbows out. That lower body is still heavy, and then you are lengthening that upper body down to the floor, and then when you get all the way down, you reset, windshield wiper. Just rock and give yourself a little massage on that front body, whatever feels good, or some combination of both those things. Inhaling and exhaling, staying with your breath. And then take your time back up into that Sphinx posture so you are supported on your elbows. And then I'm going to start with the left side stretch just because that is the side that is facing the camera. So that's just how it's going to go. So that right leg is long behind, and then you bend that left knee, that right elbow stays where it's at, and you reach those left arms, not hurting any of your joints, not hurting your elbows, not hurting any delicate ankles or wrists. Inhaling and exhaling. If you want to come down to your belly and reach that right arm forward, and then press that left knee towards the back of your space, you get just a little bit extra stretch. And then let yourself go of that left side. Prop yourself up. Do whatever feels good in order to reset. Breathing full and deep. Navel, ribs, chest. Exhale fully, chest, ribs, navel. And when you're ready to move to the other side, do that. Do not strain. Inhale and exhale. Doesn't have to look the same. You don't even have to reach the foot. You can just be reaching towards the foot. Inhale and exhale. Stay with your breath. Then release once again, windshield wiper back and forth. And then this next one you might want to do some cushion, and I'm going to kind of angle myself just because you might be able to see what I am doing. I am angling myself because your legs, they're heavy, so just make sure that you can feel your whole lower trunk on the floor. I'm going to start by having my upper body be kind of in a spread eagle position with those arms reaching out to the side. So you're like in a T. Inhale and exhale. And then bring that left arm up to the front of your space, and then you lift up a little bit and slide that right arm. And then this is where you bend the elbows. And if it's comfortable, you are going to rest just right here. You can also bring your hands to your shoulders. Inhale and exhale. Stay with your breath. That lower body is like in cement, and you're getting a nice stretch in your right shoulders. Well, probably in both shoulders. Inhaling and exhaling. All right, let go. Remember which arm you have underneath. I got my right arm underneath. I'm going to release. I'm going to reset down on my mat. I'm going to do whatever feels good. If it's just laying for a moment and noticing your body moving back to the place it was before, then just do that. I think that feels amazing. And then left arm, you're reaching out into the T, the right arm comes up, the left arm goes underneath. And once again, if you don't like to reach for your hands, you can also just reach for your shoulders. Inhaling and exhaling. This is a really intense stretch. Stay with your breath. Try not to move away from what's going on. Eventually, you're going to be done, and you're going to reset any way that feels good, whether it's that windshield wiper or just laying in with your head in some cushion that you're making with your arms. Breathing full breaths. Inhale and exhale. And then once again, bring yourself back over onto your back. Take your time getting there, however feels good to you. You can just roll over, you can sit up and come back onto your back. It doesn't matter. We're going to find ourselves in that bent knee position. We're going to bring that right ankle on top of that left knee. Breathing full and deep here. Try to stay active in that right leg and that left leg. Try to keep those glutes down. If you want to lift that foot up off the floor, the left foot off the floor, try not to raise your glutes as you do that. If you want to reach through that opening and you have to lift up your upper body to do that, that's okay, right? You can then bring the upper body back down. If it's too much at any time, you can release and just go back to the place where it feels the best to you. You're staying right here for a few deep breaths. Inhaling and exhaling. If your arms aren't through and holding on to your leg, they're just out to the side, helping to keep you supported. Keep pressing that right heel, pressing that right knee away. right. Trying to feel both glutes, the right and the left glute, evenly on the floor. All right, you're going to let that, if you've got that hand, you're going to let it go. Bring your left foot back down to the floor and now slide that right knee on top of the left knee so you are in this cross-legged position. Your arms are out to the side, no higher than shoulder height, just to keep you supported as you now drop the knees to the left. So you're going to jiggle onto that left hip if that feels good. Try to keep that right shoulder connected as the knees go to the left. Breathing full and deep. And if you don't like your twist this way, you don't have to do it. We're going to come back onto our back. Use that left foot in order to jiggle onto your back. You've still got that right knee on top. And now you're going to let those knees fall to the right. Keep that left side anchored down. And then that right leg pulls that left leg. So you get that stretch down your hip flexor. Keep pulling that tail down. Then you're going to lift into an upright position. And then you're going to bring both feet down. And you're going to do whatever feels good as far as resetting. And then all the same stuff on the other side. So keep trying to lengthen your whole trunk, your whole torso, so you're getting optimum support. So then when you go into the movement, we're going into the pigeon. So now the left ankle goes onto the right knee. You're pressing through that heel. Both heels. You're only reaching up through that opening if it feels good. You're only clasping the back of that right leg or somewhere on that right leg if it feels good. You're not putting a lot of pressure on whatever you're clasping because your leg has delicate tendons in it. You have to be careful. You're trying to keep your whole trunk on the mat. Inhale and exhale. So keep pressing those glutes away. You should feel it in your front body. You're going to bring that right foot down if you do have it up, and then drop the left leg, the left knee on top of the right knee. Arms come out to your sides in order to support you. Use your right foot to jiggle a little bit onto your right hip, and then keeping the left side anchored, you let those knees fall to the right. You breathe full and deep, inhaling and exhaling, taking your time. Use that foot, come on to that neutral back, and then it's just to find that place of support as you drop those legs now over to the left. So that left leg is gently pulling on that IT band. You're pulling that tail down so you're getting that support and then that stretch from there. And then you're coming back into that neutral position, and you are doing whatever feels good in order to reset. Rock, circle, windshield wiper. And then let's take a few moments to do a heart opener. This is where you can roll up a couple blankets. You can bring some pillows over from your couch if you don't have a yoga bolster. You can also use blacks. I like to use blacks. You are in charge of how big of a heart opener you want to do at this time. This stacked position I have right here, this can be a lot. So don't attempt something like this if you are not used to doing it. Maybe only do one stack or turn it so it's long ways so your shoulder blades are on either side. I'm bringing my shoulder blades to on top. Now, this can really hurt. No matter how you do it, it can also hurt your low back because you don't think to keep your tail in that position of support. And so you got to kind of play around with where the blocks are and then move into the heart open. This always opens my sinuses and I love it. Stay with your breath, whatever you're doing. You're breathing full and deep. If you're on a bolster, it's a little bit more restorative. If you're on a blanket, it's probably a little bit more restorative. If you're on a block, it's a little bit more active. Inhale and exhale. Stay with your breath. So this big heart opener, you need to come up in steps like that old school. I like to lift so that neck is nice and long, and then hands down, and then come to seated, and then I can feel my body just go right back into that place, and this like everything like opens up right here. It's just amazing. So take some time here. This has been it's been all on the floor, and I know I talked about it being easy and gentle, and I think for the most part it was, but it can still be pretty intense. And that intensity has gotten deep into that muscle memory, opened some stuff up, and you take this time right now to lay in relaxation or sit in meditation in order to take full advantage of what we've just worked on. So hopefully you've got time to do that, to just lay and not move on to your next thing, not move back in time, just be with your breath and your body. Also, you can just sit your back up against something and breathe full and deep, and the same thing is happening. You are just grateful to be alive, and you're not moving on to your next thing yet. All right, until next time, namaste. Please take care. Bye.